think we're good to go. Maybe. Just having some odd technical issues. Hi, I'm Trey, the Broken Path Shaman. Welcome you to my virtual medicine lodge. This is where I meditate with you. So I really want to say this is for all levels. Do what you can and listen to your body when it tells you it's too much. And feel free to ask questions in chat. I can answer them later. Not a problem. All right. So it's usually about 20-30 minute meditation that I do. I invite you to share this space with me and meditate alongside. If you have questions, definitely ask them because if I don't see anything in chat, I'm gonna just keep meditating on my own. And I kind of remind people as things come up of things that I'm thinking. But yeah. Oh, and something I wanted to share. So I keep talking about, well, I don't know if I keep talking about, but I've mentioned a yogi, BKS Iyengar. So I'm reading his book. Let's see how that comes up. Oh, yes. Of course. All right. Well, in the future, what I'll do is maybe put a link or something. But BKS Iyengar, Light on Life, really great stuff. It's kind of funny because I really enjoy yoga. I enjoy breathing. Just came into yoga late in my life. But there's something about breathing and yoga and the positions that I really enjoyed. And then I initiated into Reiki, and meditation was one of the exercises you need to do to keep that energy flowing. So listening to BKS Iyengar, it's like I'm backing into this stuff. I have no tradition in any of the Upanishads or anything like that, any of the yogic texts. But the stuff he's saying really resonates with things that I've been realizing as I go through this transformation and through this journey, that now I have names for it and have a better understanding. I always say I'm learning a vocabulary around this, right? So, hey, share with me. I'm on Reddit too, mostly listening. I do a lot of listening. I think that might be a shamanic trait, is to listen more than you talk, and talk when people need to listen. Yeah. All right. So all that behind, I was just listening to him while I was doing some physical therapy before this, and he was talking about samadhi. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So pretty cool stuff. All right. So for me, what I do here is we breathe and we meditate. I have been doing a little bit of a preparation for meditation. So we're going to go through that real quick. It's about 3 minutes, but I'm going to explain the position, how we breathe, and what happens during this method of meditation. Now, I call it the FCK meditation. I'm the only one that's going to know that name because it was a Fort Collins Kabbalah meditation that I learned 20 years ago. So FCK meditation is how I have it in my notes. But the point is, when you start that meditation, and it gets me sweaty, so this is going to be energetic. When you start that meditation, get into a comfortable position. You can sit on a chair. This is comfortable to me, being on my knees in a kneeling pose. But cross-legged, whatever's comfortable. What we're going to end up doing is putting our hands together in a namaste, so palms firmly pressed together, and just rest that on the sternum, rest the thumbs on the sternum. Now you can have an active namaste or a relaxed namaste, it's up to you, but if your elbows are up and your fingers are pointed more up, that's going to be active, and that's just a bit more relaxed, just for the shoulders and such. Also, going to close my eyes and kind of focus towards the middle of my brow with my eyes closed. I'm also going to imagine being surrounded in white light. So that's the position. Now for the breathing, the breath cycle is going to be an inhale, hold for 26 pumps of the stomach. And pumping the stomach would be bringing the navel in and kind of up. So, but breath's going to be held, so you pump it. So inhale, hold 26, pump, exhale, hold 26. Pump your stomach while exhaled. And then that's the cycle. So inhale 26, exhale 26, pumps. Then at the end of 3 minutes, wherever I'm at, going to stop, inhale as much as possible, and squeeze all my muscles as tight as possible throughout my body for about, well, as long as you can hold it, and then release. Release, let your hands just relax in your lap, and repeat victory in your mind. So that was like a 2-minute explanation for a 3-minute exercise, but I just want you to be able to follow along. So I'm gonna start the timer to respect our time, otherwise lose track of everything. Victory, victory. Wow, yep, that one always gets me a bit sweaty, very intense. And just to share, I did not do it perfectly. This is practice. These are attempts to do as good as possible. Um, so it's honesty. Deal with the facts, right? And it's not deal with the facts, just that's the whole point of practice. You just keep coming back to it. And eventually you hit plateaus, and then you go past those plateaus to new highs, and then plateau again, maybe fall. But it's a journey, and that's where I think the journey resides, is in the struggle, right? How do we deal with those forces? I'm not about force and struggle. Just letting you know. All right, so now we're going to start first of my 3 cycles that I do for meditation. So this, I just picked them. They were comfortable for me. You do what's comfortable for you. But I start in a Vajrasana. Still working with that word. But it's a thunderbolt pose or kneeling pose. And when I breathe, I like to take a very active inhale. Fill up those lungs as much as possible and just let that air out. And I prefer a namaste, but like I say, do what's comfortable for yourself. If you have any plants or something around you, focus on them. They love the attention. If you don't have plants, I suggest getting pictures of forest or landscape. Something with an overabundance of plants, and just stare at it. Always ask, just don't hurt yourself. Don't do anything that's uncomfortable. I've spent a lot of time working on getting into these postures, and they are not uncomfortable for me. Just got a signal for the second cycle. So in this cycle, I switch my pose, do a Baddha Konasana pose, which would be a bound ankle pose. I like to remind folks I've been sitting on my knees for 10 minutes. Take time as we transition. Let blood flow. You don't want to hurt yourself by accident. Now, I'm working with injuries, so I can't really get into a bound ankle pose like I'd want to. But this is a time where I like to remind people to modify. And by modify, just remember the intent that you brought to this space to meditate and try and keep that as close as possible. So one of my intents while I'm here is I like having the soles of my feet touching in this posture. Try and hold that as long as I can. Also to have a lengthened spine, and I usually get that at the top of my breath with my lungs maximum capacity. And then balancing that head or crown at the top of that lengthened spine. And then I also work to have my shoulders drop away from my ears, so down and back. All this while breathing, right? I call us the tempest in the teapot, tempest in a teacup with milk. There's so much going on the inside, but on the outside, we're usually as still as porcelain. Now also with the breath, probably one of the most important parts of the breath is at the top of the breath for this method of breathing, I just let the air come out, shoulders drop, just like a To me, that's probably the most important thing you can do in this meditation is just that exhale. Let all that stress and daily crud kind of leave. It's amazing how we haven't learned to breathe until we really try to breathe. And it took me 4 decades to realize I wasn't doing it the best I could. It comes with practice and intent. to modify my posture. That's not comfortable any longer, but again, just listen to your body. It really does know. Even trying to find grace, we can push it too hard, so listen. Reminded also to talk about breathing. When I take a full breath, the goal is to open the diaphragm, move out those organs out the way of the lungs, and just fill up the lungs from the bottom part of the lungs up to the top part of the lungs. And that's what I consider a full breath. And the amazing thing about that, when we fill up that wind bag, is if you get used to using your inner eye on your body, you can feel your posture. You can feel when you're slouching. So if you're ever not sure, you just want to take a check at your desk, just take a deep inhale and just feel, oh, my head might be a little too forward. Also reminded, if anything comes up, let it. Burps, belches, farts, just let it flow through. So reminded, we're entering our third cycle of the meditation, last 10 minutes, about 9.5 minutes left. In this third cycle, I go into a Pranayama. It's a mountain pose with a namaste, or Tadasana. So BKS Iyengar does a great explanation of Tadasana. Changed my way of looking at it, so I suggest that. But I do like people to take a moment and just think how we connect the bodies of the earth and the sky. So while in Tadasana, one of the goals for me is to stretch towards the sky, at the same time rooting towards the earth's core, and just be in the union of those energies, of those forces, of those bodies. Yeah, we're very lucky as humans, I gotta tell you. Now it takes me a bit to straighten out. This pinched nerve is not fun. But just remember the intent you bring to the space and modify what you need to do. Just release that tension. I notice that I have to breathe a little bit slower so I don't trigger my pain. And let that muscle relax down by my L4, L5. And your body will do it or it won't. It's okay, it's a journey, it's not a destination. today I'm going to end it there. It's definitely been an engaging practice. Thank you for joining. Appreciate each and every one of you. Feel so blessed. So I'm Trey, Broken Path Shaman, meditating every day, just really to share space with folks, watch the divine awaken in you, and really just inspire more people to meditate as much as they can. And I think it's easier for humans to do something if they see other people doing it. So just putting it out there. You can find me on Twitter as BP_shaman, or you can find me here on YouTube. If you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, you'll get notified when I go live. I do it whenever I can. So I've had a great schedule, been able to do it before work, but sometimes I miss that and have to shuffle it around. So yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much. If you have questions, you can reach me on any of those social medias or tomorrow in chat. Just drop it by.